Hey guys, Steve with Learning Law Skills. Thanks for coming back, and hope you're going to learn a little bit and learn a nice, quick and easy recipe that really did help America become free. Something we know from our history is first George Washington requisitioned Congress for sauerkraut distinctly to help feed his troops. We also know that England hired around 30,000 Hessians, and of those, quite a few did not want to be on that journey. Not at all. It was a rough 3-month-long brutal ocean crossing. When they got to the States, the English had promised them sauerkraut as part of their daily rations, but the English didn't provide. When these soldiers found they could get cabbage from colonies, usually up around New York, that part of the country, they switched sides just for cabbage. Because literally they were only being paid for their food and clothing, not really anything for money. So why not? Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little bit of history. We're going to jump in and make some sauerkraut just using some quart jars. We'll cover the whole process, throw in a few extra recipes with the sauerkraut, some variants, and I do hope you enjoy the video, and that in the process we earn your subscription. So stick around, we'll get to it right now. The first thing you're going to need, of course, a good cutting board. You're going to need something to slice it with, a mandolin. Actually, I just bought this one at a garage sale. Somebody pretty much wrecked it. So, I guess it's a knife, maybe. Of course, then we need a bowl. As we trim it, we want to put them in there. Okay, first thing you want to do, come in any bad spots. Just slice them off, get rid of them, you don't need that anyway. We're outside, so critters are going to get a treat. Trim up. You need to keep a few of these larger leaves from the outside. We're just going to carefully peel them off. We'll use these later. And then the next thing, got to cut this in half, cut it in quarters, and start slicing. You need to get that core out. It's really thick and hard to cut. So hang on, I'll be right back. Real simple. Now the nice thing with the chainsaw, get that real fine slaw. Look at that, pretty. But oh crap, I forgot something. I'm sorry. Need to change the bar oil out. Gotta clean this thing all up. Change the bar oil out. Use some olive oil, because then you can just set your bucket down, because the top of the chain is going away from you like that. You can just come in, run your cabbage off, shoot it right in the bucket, you're good as gold. But that's going to take too much time, so we got an easier thing to do. Cutting green stuff, you need something that's designed for cutting green stuff, right? Oh, hang on. That was fun. So we got it all chopped up now. Kept some of the big leaves. That's hard to do. Sometimes some people like to use the cores when they're canning them up. So we'll get rid of them. One more leaf, yeah. Look at that, this works great. So next step, need to put about 3 tablespoons in of salt for every 5 pounds of garlic. So we've got, oh, good 15 pounds, so about 11 tablespoons, something like that. It doesn't matter. Get some in our jars. A little salt. Oh, half a tablespoon. Throw some more in. Keep doing that. We'll need to mash this down here. We'll do that in just a minute here. And sometimes we want to add a little flavor. You can use garlic, you can use peppers. I would use Trinidad scorpions, really good stuff. Didn't get a lot of heat, but you know, enough. Say about 4 or 5 heads. Totally up to taste. There's no rules on that. You need to smash these with, smash that garlic, and I have nothing to smash it with. Come on with me a minute. We'll go, I got something better to smash it with. Just got one decision to make. Power hammer, 4-pound hammer. Nah, we'll do it the old way. This is old school stuff, you know. That should be good. Let's go back to the table. Time to get the paper off. And, you know, really don't have to worry about the iron because, you know, that's the anvil and hammer, they're only touching the paper. We're throwing that away. Just bring it up. Small chop. It does not really matter at all. Just whatever you like. Get some of that into the jar. A little more cabbage. You really need to pack it down in there. That salt will start working pretty quick. Within about 10 minutes you'll see the water forming. Now in tamping this down, you need a good solid stick. Got to compress this down, a little salt here and there. Just happen to have a new handle, so it's good and clean. We can use that to compress that cabbage. A little dash of salt. And more cabbage. Just kind of repeat. And the rest of the garlic. We're going to let this one sit a little bit once I pack it down as much so that salt can start working. We'll be able to get more in and get a lot of that air out. And we'll start on another plant. Let's do some with peppers. So I'm using Serranos. You use any pepper you want. It doesn't add a heck of a lot of heat, but it's there, you know. It gives a little bit of flavor, a little extra flavor. Peppers I just like to make some nice long slices. You know, seeds in or out, that's up to you. So, Again, we get a base layer of cabbage. Tick or two in, more repeat. And I always like to have a pepper slice up against the glass. Makes it easy to identify. You can always write a little bit on the lid. That's a good idea too. Whether it's garlic or peppers or just straight up kraut. Either way. But that's a surefire way identifier. Oop, let's get a little salt in there. That salt, after 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to start seeing liquid form at the bottom of the jar. Really be able to pack it in there. I'm using a fair bit of force. As you can see, get that packed in. The salt is going to draw juices out of the cabbage. You'll see that forming. By the time we get done, we'll have juice up to the top. Well, like I said earlier, you need to let this stuff rest for 15-20 minutes. Half hour is better. Need to get some juice going. I got lucky, we had a good spring rain. That kind of forced us indoors for a little bit. But by now, there's water, juices starting to form in the bottom. Part of the process. So you'll be able to pack it down a lot more. And you want to keep this process up until you have liquid all the way to the bottom. Add a little more garlic in. Add more cabbage in. You know, just repeat, back and forth. Simple process. You know, same with this. We've got juice coming in, about halfway up. And never tighten the lids down because you're doing a lactobacillus fermentation. Basically, you're fermenting the cabbage. And to do that, all you need is your cabbage and some salt. Whether it's regular salt, pink salt, canning salt works very, very well. And rather than pouring into a jar, let me get the right side. Pour out about a tablespoon. Sprinkle it around, mix it up. This will help speed up the process quite a bit. What we're doing is we're trying to get the lactobacillus to start fermenting. It's already in the plant. You don't need to add anything to it. That's going to kill off any bad bacteria, and it'll ferment the cabbage into, with the pre-salted, as you're nearing the end, there's going to be some juice in here. You want to save that juice. That's part of the cabbage juice. That's what we need for the fermentation. So save that. Keep going. We'll put some more in here where we'll resalt it. The next batch. And just keep the process going. I want to show you how after you let this sit a little bit, how the juices start forming. Watch around the handle. Well folks, it's been a few hours. So we got good juice rolling everywhere. Look at the jars, there's plenty of juice coming to the top. But as we pack this down, we need to fill back up that headspace. So I'm going to take my weakest jar and just spoon some of that over. Pretty simple. I think I'll work on this off camera. We'll get into how to take care of this. When you finish these up, pop your lid on. Do not tighten it, just barely loose. Just something to cover it, keep the bugs out. Every day, maybe 2-3 times a day. Especially at the start, you're going to want to pack it down a little more. Really simple, just keep an eye on them. Keep them at room temperature. Do not refrigerate. If you refrigerate them, you're going to stop the growth of the lactobacillus. And it's super important we keep that going. So I set them at room temperature on my kitchen counter, someplace out of the way and out of the sun. Watch them in about 3 weeks. We're good to go. We got a fantastic treat. It's a very ancient recipe that's been around, who knows how many thousand years. And well, we do hope you enjoyed my video. Hope you got a little chuckle there. And if we did, please hit that like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you much, and give it a try. You're going to enjoy this one. We'll see you down the road, folks.